Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be going over the same skill as the previous video, systems of linear equation word problems. However, this time it's going to be going over the medium difficulty level. Make sure to subscribe before we get into it, and let's get started. So, the perimeter of a rectangular movie screen at a local cinema is 148 feet. If the length of the screen is 30 feet longer than the width, what is the length of the screen in feet? So, with this medium difficulty level, we're going to be expected to write out some systems of equations. So, let's do exactly that. Taking from our first sentence here, the perimeter of a rectangular movie screen. So we need to know here some background information. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. Or of course we know perimeter is just adding up all the sides, and in a rectangle there are two lengths and two widths. So perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W, and of course it says is 148 feet. That means our first equation is exactly this. 2L plus 2W equals 148. Now we can read our second sentence. If the length of the screen, if the length is 30 feet longer, so that means we need to add 30 to the width in order to find the length. And then we need to find what L is equal to. Okay, so what we can do here is isolate the W variable and use a substitution way to get rid of the W, so we can just find the value of L. We can manipulate this equation to the left and easily isolate the W variable by just subtracting each side by 30. This turns that left equation into W equals L minus 30. And then we can substitute in our W into its place in that second equation. So that second equation turns into 2L plus 2 parentheses L minus 30 equals 148. Now the only thing left is to do distributive property, combine like terms, and solve for the L variable. First we'll do distributive property, so that turns into 2L minus 60. Now we have 2L here. Okay, so 2L plus 2L, we know that's 4L, and then 4L minus 60 equals 148. In order to isolate the variable, we need to add 60 to each side. So 148 plus 60 is 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 6 is 10. Carry the 1. We are left with 208 equals 4L. Now, in order to isolate the variable, we divide by 4 on each side. And if you are confused with what's happening here, I will recommend two playlists. So we have solving linear equations and inequalities, and we have our systems, solving systems of linear equations. So that would really help if you're feeling a bit lost at this point. But you can always let me know in the comments. So we divide each side by 4, and then 208 divided by 4 is 52. So the length of our rectangular movie screen is 52 feet, which is our answer, 52. That was a lot of work, but I hope that you guys could follow how we solved that one. On to our next question. Molecular mass is defined to be the sum of the masses of the individual atoms that make up a molecule. Hydrogen peroxide contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 2 atoms of oxygen and has a molecular mass of 34.01468 grams per mole. Water H2O contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen and has a molecular mass of 18.01528 grams per mole. Which of the following systems could be used to find the mass of 1 atom of hydrogen, X, hydrogen is X, and the mass of 1 atom of oxygen, Y, in grams per mole? So this might look, lots of chemistry here. It might look really really confusing. However, if we can take a look at the sentence that I highlighted at the start, sum of the masses of the individual atoms to make up a molecule, and X is hydrogen, Y is oxygen. So hydrogen peroxide is just pretty much 2X plus 2Y equals 34.0 whatever, and then oxygen is just 2X plus Y equals 18.01528. And then this is all we have to do here. We just had to write them out, and we can see that answer choice A matches our equations here. So even though there's a lot of grams per mole, a lot of units, some chemistry terms, molecular mass, we just need to spot out those key words. Sum means we're going to be adding using that addition operation. Then just keep hydrogen peroxide numbers within that first equation, and then our water numbers within that second equation, and you will be all good for questions like these. On to our next question here. Very similar. The length of a rectangular swimming pool is twice as long as its width. If the perimeter of the pool is 120 feet, then what is the width of the pool? So we're trying to find width. We'll go really quick through this. We know our perimeter equation is already 2L plus 2W equals 120, since 120 is our perimeter. Then that first equation, length is twice as long as its width. If length is twice as long as width, then we need to multiply the width by 2 in order to find our length. And then in this case, solving for W, we need the L to be isolated, which it already is in this first equation. We can just substitute L out for 2W, so we are left with 2W plus 2W equals 120. 2 times 2W is 4W. 4W plus 2W is 6W. We are left with 6W equals 120. We divide both sides by 6. W equals 20 feet. That was super easy. So I hope that you guys can see the difference of question number 1 and question number 3. These are extremely similar questions, and after doing one of them, practice makes progress. On to our last question of the video here. Philip is downloading apps and songs to his tablet. He downloads 7 apps and 6 songs. Each song takes an average of 0.8 minutes longer to download than each app. If it takes 21.7 minutes for his downloads to finish, which of the following systems could be used to approximate A, the average number of minutes it takes to download one app, and S, the average number of minutes it takes to download one song? So we need to know here, each song takes an average of 0.8 minutes, and then it takes 21.7 minutes in total. So of course we know if A is the average number of minutes it takes to download one app, well then 6 songs and 7 apps, they are going to combine to find our total value of 21.7. That is our total value, as we can see here. Then A being one app, we need to multiply A by the number of apps we have, which is 7, and then multiply our songs by the number of songs we have, which is 6. So this is our first equation here. Then this sentence right here just creates our second equation. Each song takes an average of 0.8 minutes longer to download than each app. So we need to have our app value and add 0.8 in order to find our song value, which is the same as saying we need to take our song value and then subtract 0.8 to find our app value. These are the same equations. I just moved over some variables. That's extremely important to know here, because that format matches this equation right here. Our A equals S minus 0.8. And then this equation matches our first one. So answer choice D is the correct answer here. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic day and goodbye.